Your Lordship, the ladies and gentlemen assessor, my Lord, you allow us highlight our case in response to the submissions of the defense. The accused is indicted 4 counts of murder, my Lord. The ingredients are 4. The first being that we have a burden to prove that a human being or human beings in this case were killed, that the death was caused by an unlawful act, and that the unlawful act was actuated by malice aforethought, and that it is the accused person who participated in the causing of the said death. My Lord, we have the burden to prove all of those 4 ingredients, and we have highlighted the law, my Lord. What we want to emphasize that
some interpretation, and I received concern that the people here would like to have an interpretation, so she's going to interpret.
My Lord, in that case, it will not be 1 hour. We were proposing, my Lord, like the land registrar did after the defense, that after our submission, then the interpreter can recap the gist of what we are saying. Otherwise, my Lord, the interpretation will take half of the time that we are supposed to be addressing court.
Let me hear from the people themselves. Who is their representative?
Ani abakiikirira abantu abatudde eyo?
Could we interpret at the end of their submissions a summary of what they have said? Okay, thank you.
Kale mwebale nnyo.
Thank you, my Lord. My Lord, we want to emphasize that although we have
Mr. Morgan, you proceed to the BRO is going to talk to his people. Okay, the administrator of the court is advising that we interpret after some time. Okay, Mr. Morgan, please proceed.
It's all right, my Lord. My Lord, I was highlighting that although the prosecution has the burden to prove the ingredients of this case beyond reasonable doubt, the principle in Mira versus Minister of Pensions, my Lord, that we quote, is that that burden of beyond reasonable doubt does not really mean proof beyond a shadow of doubt. We address you, my Lord, on the first ingredient, that a human being died. The law is that, my Lord, death can be proved by either production of medical evidence to prove the fact of death or through evidence of eyewitnesses that witnessed the same. In this case, we produced evidence of PW1 and through him, my Lord, we have exhibits, prostitution exhibit number 1 to 4, proving the fact that the bodies of Eteku, Seruyange, Agenoroth, and Odeke were examined, found to have had deep cut injuries to the neck that resulted into their death. My Lord, besides the doctor, we also laid evidence of PW2, 3, 4, and 5, who are the biological parents of the deceased children, that testified to the effect that these infants died and were buried. In addition, my Lord, we laid evidence of PW 6 and 7, the caretakers of the center, both of whom testified to the fact of death of each of the children, the deceased children. And finally, my Lord, we had evidence from the police officers, that is PW 14 and 15, whose testimonies were to the effect that the bodies of the deceased children were collected from the scene and Wenzi Medical Center, respectively, conveyed to Mulago KCCM mortuary for post-mortem examination, and thereafter released their respective parents for burial. Now, our submission, my Lord, is that that evidence is sufficient to prove that ingredient. I don't know, my Lord, if this would be an appropriate time for us to just wrap up what that, yeah.
Ti mukuwumbawumba musango oludda lw'omuwaba gavumenti avunaanibwa okutta emisango gy'okutta ena, ng'era emisango gino kakasibwa. Ekisooka, walina okubaawo abantu abattiddwa. Ekyokubiri, walina okulaga nti ekyaviirako okufa kyali kikolwa eky'obumenyi bw'amateeka. Ekyokusatu, kirina okuba nti ekikolwa ekyo kyali kiteeketeeke. Ekyokuna, nti avunaanibwa ddala ye yeetaba mu kuzza ebikolwa bino. Ajulizza omusango ogulaga nti mu kuba nga nti bateekeddwa okuba nga baleeta obujulizi naye nga obutabaamu kubuusabuusa. ensonga esooka bagenze ku eno ey'okuba nti waliwo abantu abattibwa era bagaba baleeta obujulizi omujulizi eyasooka era nga mu ye mwe baayitira ne baleeta ebizibiti ebyayambibwa ekisooka mpaka ku kyokuna nga bino bikakasibwa nti waliwo emirambo gy'abantu bano Eteku, Seruyange, Egenerot ne Odeke era nga gino gyasangibwa nga gisaliddwa ebiwundu mu bulago ekyabaviirako okufa era baamala ng'oggyeko obujulizi obwo baamala ne baleeta obujulizi abajulizi abalala nga kwe kuli omujulizi ow'okubiri ow'okusatu n'ow'okutaano nga bano be bazadde b'abaana bano abagenzi ng'era nabo baawa obujulizi bwabwe nti abaana bano baafa era ne baziikibwa. Olwo olwabi lwagenda maaso ne luleeta abajulizi abalala ow'omukaaga n'ow'omusanvu nga bano be baali balabirira abaana bano kweno senta oba essomero lino ng'era na bano bakakasa mu bujulizi bwabwe nti abaana bano ddala baafa. Bagenda maaso ne baleeta obujulizi bw'abasirikale abapoliisi nga bano be bajulizi ow'e18 n'ow'e15 era nga bano nabo baawa obujulizi bwabwe ne bategeeza nti baafuna emirambo okuva wano wennyini ku ssomero n'emirambo emirala ne bagijja ku ddwaliro lya Wenzi era ng'emirambo gino baamala gyonna ne bagikuŋŋaanya ne bagitwala ku mokyale e Mulago okukakasa oba okukeberebwa okuzuula ki ekyali kiviiriddeko okufa kw'abaana bano era oluvannyuma lw'okukebera emirambo gino ne giweebwayo ne giziikibwa.
My Lord, as to the second ingredient, that the death was caused by